Chapter 12, the Major Triad. A triad is a grouping of 3 notes built using intervals of the third. The major triad is constructed by combining the first, third, and fifth note of a major scale, as shown here in the key of C. Other properties of the major triad can be observed by analyzing the qualities of the intervals involved in its construction. So to build a major triad up from a particular note, use either method. Write the first, third, and fifth note of the major scale, or write a major third above the bottom note, and then a perfect fifth above the bottom note. Both methods are shown here for building the major triad above the pitch E flat. Here it is building the scale. Or you can start on the E flat and go up a major third, and start on the E flat and go up a perfect fifth, and you'd have the whole thing. You can go ahead and check your understanding 12.1. And here you'll be asked to build a few major triads using either of these methods. Now, because there are only 12 major triads, 15 including the common enharmonics, it is most practical to just memorize them all. And this is actually quite easy to do if you learn them on a keyboard, as they seem to fit into 4 categories according to their keyboard geography or visual appearance. Let's start with a group 1 triads. These are the ones that are all white notes on the keyboard. The first one is the C major triad. And to build a C major triad, you just build a C major scale. You can start with a C major key signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you really only need to go up to 5 notes, because to build a triad you only need the first note, the third note, and the fifth note. And here's your C major triad. Now to build the G major triad, we start with a G key signature, and then we build the G major scale, G, A, B, C, D. And again, to build this triad, we just use the first, the third, and the fifth note. And we can see that we don't need any accidentals to play this triad. Now let's try the F major triad. The key of F has 1 flat. We will build the scale of F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only need to go up to 5 notes because we need the first note, the third note, and the fifth note. Basically every other note. We build the F triad. And it looks like that. Again, all white notes. To play the C triad on the piano, every other note, starting on C, and take note of the fact that it's all white notes, because this is what I would call a group 1 triad. This is just a way to help you remember them. And you should get your hands on a keyboard or get out a keyboard of some sort and find these and try to put your fingers on them. This is a G triad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 notes of a G scale, every other note, and it's all white notes. And here's an F triad. First 5 notes of an F scale, every other note, F triad. And you should bounce your hands around and play the 3 group 1 triads until they're comfortable in your hands. These next triads are what I call the group 2 triads, and they are all the ones that have a black note in the middle. So we're going to start with this one here, the one on A. The A scale is 3 sharps. And the A major scale is A, B, C sharp, D, and E. 1, 3, 5. We'll play those 3 notes. And don't forget to put a sharp in the middle for the A triad. Also in this category of group 2 is the triad on D. 2 sharps. We start on D, E, F sharp, G, A. The key signature tells us we need to put a sharp on the F sharp. We play every other note and make sure that middle note is a sharp, and we have the D triad. And finally, in the group 2 triads, we have the triad of E. The key of E has 4 sharps. We start writing an E scale, and we notice that one of those notes needs to be sharped, the G sharp. And this is an E triad. In each of these 3 triads, the middle note is sharped. So when we try this on a keyboard, we start with A. The A triad has a black note in the middle. Once you get the feel of a group 2 triad, they're all going to feel the same. And then we start with D. It's a D triad. And then we start with E. By the way, when you play this, you can think of the scale formula. Tonic, whole, half, whole. That will always get you the first 5 notes of a major scale. Okay, the group 2 triads, you should play them quickly and securely so that they feel consistent in your hands. White notes on the outside, black note in the middle. The group 3 triads have pretty much the opposite look of the group 2 triads. They have black notes on the bottom and top and a white note in the middle. We'll start with a key of A flat. And we'll build an A flat major scale just up to the first 5 notes. We'll check our notes against the key signature and see that A needs to be flatted, B flat is flatted, C there's no flat, D flat there's a flat, and E flat there's a flat. We'll take the 1, 3, 5, build the triad, and make sure to pull those flats over and make them black notes. So here's our A flat triad. A black note on the bottom, that is a flat on the bottom, a white note in the middle, that is a natural, and a black note on the top. Here's another one of our group 3 triads. This is the key of D flat that has 5 flats in the key signature. We'll start on D flat, E flat, F, G flat, and A flat, and pull from the key signature. We see that that's flatted, the E is flatted, the F is not, the G is flatted, the A is flatted. We build the triad and it looks like this. Pull the flats over, we'll end up with a black note on the bottom, a D flat, a natural in the middle, and a black note on the top, just like the A flat triad. And we'll do one more that has this kind of configuration, and this is the triad of E flat. There's the E flat key signature. There's the first 5 notes in the key of E flat. Those are the flats from the key signature, the E flat, the A flat, and the B flat. And then we build our triad on E flat, pulling the flats over, and E flat and the B flat. So all 3 of these triads have a black note on the top, natural in the middle, black note on the bottom. Let's see what this looks like on the keyboard. So we'll start with A flat. So I say tonic, whole step, or major second, minor second, major second. The important thing here is black note on the bottom, black note on the top, white note in the middle. All three chords in this group 3 are like that. Let's go to D flat now. Major, major, minor, major. Black note on the bottom, white note in the middle, black note on the top. And then we'll finally do E flat. Black note on the bottom, white in the middle, black on the top. And then to practice these, you should jump your hand around to these 3 until you're comfortable playing all of the group 3 triads. They all feel the same. Perhaps not as comfortable as the group 2 to play, but you'll get used to it. The pattern is the same for all 3. And the last thing we'll do are the miscellaneous triads that don't really fit too clearly into any particular category. We'll start with the one that's got all black notes, and this is the key of F sharp major. Charles goes down and ends. Here's the F sharp scale, at least the first 5 notes, and you can see lots of those have sharps. And I pull the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th, and I end up with a note that has all black notes. This is the triad of F sharp, all black notes. Now I must tell you that enharmonically we could have written this in the key of G flat and would have gotten pretty much the same thing. In the key of G flat, we would have had 5 flats, and we would have written the G flat scale like this. And in writing that triad, the only difference would have been, I'll put it down here, is we would have had a G flat. These are all flats, actually. These are all flats. I would have had a G flat note, a B flat note, and a D flat note. In other words, all black notes. So the G flat triad looks the same and feels the same as the F sharp on all black notes. I'll show you that on the keyboard. This is another miscellaneous chord, the key of B flat. The flats in the key of B flat are B flat and E flat. Notice when I write the notes and figure out the notes of the triad, I have one black note at the bottom for the key of B flat. You can see these are what I call the group 4 triads because they're rather miscellaneous. They don't fit into those nice little pictures and those nice little patterns that we saw in the group 1, 2, and 3 chords. And the last one we'll do is the key of B major. B major has 5 sharps. And when we write the scale, we have B, C sharp, D sharp, E, and F sharp. My sharps are C sharp, D sharp, and F sharp. And when writing out this triad, you'll see that I have a white note at the bottom and 2 black notes at the top. Well, you can see perhaps a relationship between these 2 chords. They're pretty much the mirror opposite, aren't they? The B flat chord has a black note on the bottom and 2 white notes on top. The B chord has a white note on the bottom and 2 black notes on top. So let's go ahead and try to play these on the keyboard. We'll start with the F sharp major scale. We'll go just that far. All black notes. So you should practice this. It could either be an F sharp major triad or a G flat major triad, all black notes. B flat scale. major, major, minor, major, every other note. You end up with a black note on the bottom and 2 white notes on the top. And then finally, B major. Major, major, minor, major. White note on the bottom, 2 black notes on the top. So you can see B flat is kind of the opposite looking chord as a B chord. You should try to practice going between those two and add the F sharp. Once you've mastered playing these chords on the keyboard, you know them all. That's it.